Welcome to Faith in History. Today we are exploring the story of the thieves on the cross, a story of redemption. This is the scene that unfolded over 2,000 years ago on a hill called Golgotha, a place of suffering, a place of death. But in this moment of agony, a story of hope and redemption emerged, one that still echoes through history, speaking to the depths of God's mercy. This is the story of the thief on the cross. It was the time of Passover in Jerusalem. The streets were filled with pilgrims, but among them walked a condemned man, Jesus of Nazareth. His body was beaten, his back torn open by the lashes of a Roman whip, a crown of thorns pressed deep into his scalp, and upon his shoulders the weight of a cross, the instrument of his execution. Beside him, two criminals. Their crimes. We are not told the details, but they were not petty thieves. Roman crucifixion was reserved for the worst offenders, rebels, insurrectionists, those who had defied the empire. These two men had walked a path of crime and violence, and now their journey led them to a hill called Golgotha, the place of the skull. The nails had been driven into their hands and feet. The agony was unbearable, every breath a struggle, and as they hung there, suspended between life and death, they faced the final moments of their earthly existence. But for one of them, eternity was about to change. One of the criminals looked at Jesus and saw weakness. He saw a man, helpless and dying, no different from himself. And so, with bitterness in his voice, he spoke, "If you are the Christ, save yourself and us." But his words were not a cry for help. They were words of mockery, filled with doubt and rebellion. Like so many, he demanded proof from Jesus, yet his heart remained closed to the truth. The other criminal, however, saw something different. This man, also guilty, also condemned, had spent his life running from justice, but in his final moments, he found himself in the presence of the Son of God, and suddenly he understood. Turning to the first thief, he rebuked him. "Do you not fear God, seeing you are under the same condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we receive the due reward of our deeds. But this man has done nothing wrong." Here, in his last breaths, he acknowledged two profound truths. He was guilty, and Jesus was innocent. And so, with nothing left to lose, he turned to Jesus and spoke the words that would change his eternity. "Lord, remember me when you come into your kingdom." It was a simple request. No long prayer, no grand gestures, just faith. Faith that Jesus was a king. Faith that his kingdom was real. Faith that even a condemned sinner could be saved. And then, the most remarkable words came from Jesus' lips, words of mercy, of grace, of hope. "Truly, I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise." In that instant, this man, who had lived a life of crime, became the first recorded person to enter paradise with Christ, not because of good works, not because of religious rituals, but because of faith alone. The story of the thief on the cross is more than just a historical account. It is a message of hope for every one of us. It tells us that no one is beyond the reach of God's mercy, that it is never too late to turn to Him, that salvation is not earned, it is a gift. Two men faced the same fate. Two men had the same opportunity. One rejected Jesus and was lost forever. The other turned to Him and was saved. Which thief will you be? This has been a production of Faith in History. If this message has touched you, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to know more about the power of faith in history, join us as we continue exploring the stories that shape our world.